Good morning to all of you, especially to our viewers. All right, today I am Dr. Paul Gnanaselvam. I'm from University Technology Mara, Sri Iskandar campus, and we are bringing you live to the Waqaf series TAJUK from Green Studios, Sri Iskandar. And our guest today is the indistinguishable Dr. Daljeet Singh Sedhu from Akademi Pengajian Bahasa. And welcome to our studio this morning, Dr. Daljeet. It's good to see you. And we are bringing to you live a discussion on internationalization, a horizon of opportunities, and we will be zooming into the topic. MOU is not just a document, but a realization. All right. Now, before further ado, before I allow Dr. Daljeet to speak, I think it warrants that I read or introduce Dr. Daljeet by reading his bio data first. Yeah. All right. Okay. Right. Dr. Daljeet Singh Sedhu is a senior lecturer at Akademi Pengajian Bahasa, University Technology Mara, Perak branch, Sri Iskandar campus. And he is the former coordinator of international affairs. He held the position from September 2020 to September 2024. Dr. Daljeet Singh Sedhu is a senior lecturer again at the Akademi Pengajian Bahasa, right? He holds a PhD in education from University Science Islam Malaysia, USIM, a master's degree in TESOL from University Pendidikan Sultan Idris, UPSI, and a bachelor of education in TESOL from the University College of Wales, Newport. With a professional background in applied linguistics under the broader umbrella of humanities and literature, Dr. Daljeet is a dynamic educator and researcher whose work aligns with UiTM's research needs of social creativity and innovation. He served as a coordinator for international affairs at UiTM Perak from September 2020 to September 2024, where he played a pivotal role in expanding the university's collaborations, realized impactful MOUs, and broadened opportunities for students and staff mobility. His tenure was marked by a strong emphasis on inclusive internationalization, particularly in empowering Bumiputra students through global exposure and partnerships. Since joining academia in 2008, Dr. Daljeet has made significant scholarly contributions. His academic profile includes over 220 citations on Google Scholar, H-Index 10, I-10, Index 10, H-Index, and on research, H-Index of 6 on ResearchGate, numerous publications in index journals on topics such as task-based language teaching, gender and learning strategies, achievement, emotions, and green campus initiatives. He is actively involved in several research projects, including a Vice Chancellor's special project on knowledge management in academic leadership and the KITA campus Student Empowerment Initiative. He also co-supervises doctoral candidates in areas such as cultural heritage, integration, and online learning's impact on English proficiency. That's a very colorful biodata, Dr. Daljeet. Very impressive, and we are very happy to have you with us here today. Right, Dr. Daljeet, probably we may begin with defining the word internationalization, and if you could help us to contextualize internationalization in today's very, very globalized education environment. Dr. Daljeet?
Okay, so thanks a lot, Dr. Paul. And salam sejahtera, salam UiTM to all my UiTM friends out there. Okay, and the most important thing before we begin, I just like to congratulate UiTM for soaring to 542 in the QS ranking yesterday. It's a great achievement, and it shows that we are in time with our globally renowned 2025 university achievement goals. Okay, so when it comes to internationalization, it was quite alien for me at the beginning when when it was back in 2020. Okay, until walking into a office um, where the background and the foundation needed to be started back again. Okay, for internationalization. What I when at the first part I didn't know where or what is the role of a particular university in forming internationalization. From what I saw is that what came in my mind first is like internationalization is all about traveling to overseas. Okay, but then it's not that. Internationalization is actually strengthening the university, okay, and making it as a brand, and a brand, so that people in overseas they know what is UiTM, where is UiTM, what is the composition of UiTM, okay, and what are the things UiTM can offer, okay, and so furthermore, internationalization when it came to us here, okay, for me especially lah, okay, for me especially when I saw internationalization, I always see our students. I always see our students, because whenever I see whenever we embark into a particular journey in internationalization, I see an opportunity for each and every student of the whole system of UiTM. I dream whenever we look at internationalization is that our student will be in as a global ambassadors for us in overseas. So it opened a window of opportunity for people around the globe to know UiTM, the strength, to know UiTM, the academicians here, to know UiTM, the students. Okay, so it went on. It we also, whenever we look at internationalization, we do not run far as UiTMs. We do not run far away from being locally rooted, as emphasized by our current VC. Okay, so we made sure that both are balanced. Okay, so that's what actually internationalization when it comes to me.
All right. Okay, thank you. The definition is quite clear, right? And it is very important for universities to place themselves on a global platform, yeah? And from what you said, I understand that positioning the university is very important, because probably that gives the exposure to the university, to the community, university's community, to basically bridge themselves, all right, to a more global context. Dr. Daljeet, if I may ask, how is this internationalization aligned with UiTM's vision and mission in 2025? And probably the vision and mission, the coming vision and missions of UiTM right up to 2030, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Okay, when it comes to internationalization, okay, let's when it comes to internationalization, when it comes to UiTM, as far as my 4 years experience which mold me, okay, we look into a long-term sustaining relationship with institutions. We just don't look at institutions, we look at industry partners, our other external stakeholders to have a long-term bond with us, to make sure that success achieving is sustainable.
Alright.
Why is this important? Because we want our students, our members of UiTM to be globally marketable. That is the purpose what we see here is. So in order for us to actually to target this as a long term, we normally start small. Okay, we normally start small. Okay, as every year the university comes up with a KPI for us to go and find MOUs. Let it be top 300 with the top 300 universities, or with the top 300 university by subject, or generally with all the universities overseas. And then we also have KPIs on building up with international organizations. Okay, so this is one of the way where we keep in par. It's actually not to burden the staff, but it's actually to create challenge among them. Okay, to create a challenge among them to make sure that the Bumiputras from UiTM are marketable
Alright.
and sustainable.
Okay. So definitely this aligns to basically in the context of not only the duration of their studies here, but also in securing a better future. Yeah. All right. Especially where career concerns come in. Yeah. All right. Okay. I think we need to basically go into more details of internationalization. And today's talk, of course, we cannot run away from a very important term here, about the documentation. From what you have mentioned so far, I get the impression that this is a gargantuan task that involves a lot of documentation, not only on communicating with partner universities, but then again, a documentation process is involved. So Dr. Daljeet, would you be able to enlighten us on what you mean by a documentation that is very, very significant here, that probably is an important tool to realize these internationalization efforts, right?
Okay, so
Over
Paul,
to you.
let me start. Yeah, okay, about this MOU. Yeah, okay. When it comes to MOU, yeah, we look it at as a binding document between two institutions, for example, UiTM and a particular universities in overseas, or a particular industry in local or overseas. Those why the first step is we don't just go straight away and tell them we want to do a MOU with them. We need to know, one is the interest of ensuring that the purpose of doing the MOU. Okay, because these days there are so many MOUs.
Correct.
Okay, there are many MOUs and MOAs also. But we to sustain a particular document, okay, a particular relationship, okay, we put it into a document which we call this MOU, MOA. Okay.
Dr. Daljeet, if I may interrupt, what is an MOA?
Okay, MOA is actually a memorandum of agreement.
All right.
Okay, a memorandum of agreement actually it is a very specific document on specific activity. Okay, or a specific purpose.
All right.
It can involve monetary. It can involve with skills. It can involve with special interest. Okay, it can involve in a particular project. Okay, MOU whereby is a very general document, and the beauty of UiTM here, to all my UiTM friends there, when UiTM signs one MOU here with a particular institution, we actually, for example, for UiTM Perak, when we sign a MOU with a particular university in Indonesia, okay, it does not belong to UiTM Perak actually only. It belongs to the whole system, to all our brothers and sisters out there in UiTM, regardless whichever level you are from, whichever department you are from, that MOU belongs to you also. Okay, it belongs to you also. Whereas MOA, it goes to a specific activity, those kind of things, but yet it also belongs to the whole system. Okay, so normally when it comes to MOU, UiTM, we only will sign one MOU with one, regardless of which campus you are from, which department you are from, it's one MOU. But for MOA, we can have numerous MOA. There is no issues in that. Okay, when we embark into this journey, many people ask me, how do you actually go and achieve a target of making sure the other party will agree to sign an MOU with you?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
So
that's my next question, actually.
At the beginning, I was when the first time I embarked this journey about this MOU, of course there were a few failures. Because why? One, I learned that, okay, and I even taught my fellow friends, my fellow colleagues who actually helped to come up with these MOUs and help them out to come up with their MOUs, those kind of things. Okay, first, fish for a university. I will tell you, look for a particular university. You need to go and find a university which can actually have interest with UiTM. Okay, it can give benefits to both sides. That is number one. And you must do a background study of the particular institution or the industry which you are going to go for. You cannot just simply go and look into universities without knowing their background. Okay, some of them, their vision, mission, their purpose, interest may be different than us.
Right.
Okay, so what we do is we actually really need to do proper homework, a background study, those kind of things. Okay, and then we initiate a contact with the particular university. Try to get somebody there. Okay, what I used to do was the traditional method. I look into the directory. Okay, I find in the directory, and I was in the international office, so it was very easy for me to actually liaise with the international office over there. Okay, that was one of the method I used. You have to take the initiative. Okay, you have to take the initiative, and it's not difficult. You can just send a simple email, those kind of thing. If there is a particular contact number, maybe you can use a contact number to contact them. Okay, initiate an engagement. That is a very important thing, because you have to make sure you at least virtually you meet them, have a first meeting of showing the impression of each other's institution. They need to know. They need to know who and what is UiTM, and you need to know who and where are they from.
Correct.
So when the discussion goes on, okay, that's when you actually need to show your strength of UiTM. To be honest, we are a very strong institution because we are the largest institution in Malaysia. That creates a very important role, and that was a super weapon I had during when I wanted to initiate a MOU discussion. The moment they hear we are the largest institution in Malaysia, that's a fact. That's for a fact.
Correct.
Okay, we are the largest institution in Malaysia. That created their first interest, because accessibility is very important for people who come from overseas, from different country. They look into landing in different states in Malaysia, different areas. And we are lucky, we have campuses almost in every town. Okay, I won't say state because in all the states we have campuses. Okay, but in almost every town we are accessible. Okay, so next was once you have created you need to discuss. Okay, and then let's say there is a MOU signed before you. UiTM sometimes it's a very big system. Sometimes we find out, like I'm from Perak, and I find somebody from my friend from Perlis has signed an MOU with this particular institution. So what should I do? Should I give up? No, don't give up. There's another thing we call, like what just now we discussed upon, which is the MOA, Memorandum of Agreement. You can proceed to Memorandum of Agreement with a specific and special interest from your side. Okay, maybe you want to do a collaborative teaching. Okay, or maybe you want to do student mobility, or maybe you want to do with a particular company, international company, student internship. Okay, always look at the opportunity you can explore for our children here in UiTM. Every time you see a MOA or MOU, You must see it as a window of opportunity, not only for yourself, but for the people around you. Then it works. It works. It really works. Okay, it really works because you want to. When one day when you leave or you retire from this particular organization, this institution, this great institution, yeah. Okay, you leave a legacy whereby you left a doorway, a pathway for everyone to grab opportunity to go to the particular exploration of opportunities. Now, once you have discussed with them about a particular document which you want to bind together, okay, next moving on is the drafting part. The drafting takes time. To be honest, it takes time. It can take 3 to 4 months. Okay, because yes, it's a 3-4 months process. Why? Because you are drafting a document which will bind 2 institutions, and it will be maybe renewed every 3 years. Okay, it will maybe renewed every 3 years. Okay, so when you want to do this document, it definitely takes time, and you need expert. And in UiTM, our legal advisor office, okay, our pejabat undang-undang in Shah Alam, they created a system called Nilam, okay, whereby you can access all sort of templates of MOU, MOA, LOA, letter of agreement, those kind of things, okay. Everything is there. Only thing you need to download and edit it, okay, accordingly, okay. So according to the needs of you and the other party which you discuss. Okay, so the drafting takes place. During the drafting, there's one skill everybody needs to know: negotiation.
Correct.
Okay. Negotiation. Do not give up. Do not come to a point that when you are doing a document and suddenly, oh, this cannot be met. It can. There is a flexibility. We are a learning institution. Okay, there is a way, because it's not the same way here and the same way there. We have to adapt where both there's a win-win case. Okay, and I'll give you one example of one experience I had this MOA, okay, why I say it's an opportunity, Paul, the negotiation part. There was this particular lecturer, okay, from UiTM Perak, okay. He wanted to, I think everyone knows him, okay, I will mention his name, Ustaz Yusri. Okay, he wanted to open up a journal. Okay, he wanted to open up a journal, and the journal idea was actually shut down by many places, this and that. So when I came across this one, I told him, why don't you come up with a MOA with a particular university, okay, and develop the journal into a agreement. Okay, you have an agreement for the journal with another institution. Okay, and there was a negotiation taking place, those kind of things, this and that, and who is the chief editor, everything will be spelled out in the draft very well. Okay, that is why the document is very important, because any disputes or any kind of question or query rises, you just open the Bible, okay, open the document, and the document will spell out an answer to you. Every clause is there. Okay, so it worked wonderfully, and today his journal is there, okay, publishing papers. Okay, so next, after you have drafted, what is the next? Both party agreed, this is the final draft. So what we do is we submit to we can first, maybe the other party, they can submit to their legal advisors to read through and give feedback. This is very important process. Some people say, why do legal advisors need to read when two parties already agreed? To be honest, I'm a linguist and you are a linguist, Paul. Okay, okay. We are not law experts. Okay, there are certain I came across people who actually they do not have interest in this submitting to legal advisors, but no, it's a requirement. Every institution, any organization, any document, formal documents, you really need to get the legal advisors to go through it. So normally our legal advisors, they will take time. Okay, many people question why. Okay, so once the other party has read, they will pass it to us. We will submit to our legal advisor. Our legal advisors will go through the document. Okay, they go very, very tedious and thoroughly. I worked with them for years and I saw. And you actually have to have the patience of the queue, because our legal advisors is a wonderful team, but they have to read for the whole system. They do not only read your one particular MOU. They actually read a lot of documents. Okay, a lot of documents, which takes time. So, but don't worry. So once the legal advisor has given a green light, your document is cleared. Sometimes the legal advisor will send it back to you to do amendments. They saw a loop in legal term. It may create a dispute in future. They will advise you. They will really advise you, and they will justify it very clearly. Do not worry about that. They'll justify it very clearly. Why? Because the one suggestion or advice they give you is a long-term relationship solemnization. They will make sure that this document can last very, very long. So that's a heads off to our legal team. So once it come back, okay, then after that it will be sent to our higher Majlis Executive University for approval. Okay, so it takes time, those kind of things. So from there, after complete all the red tapes, all those kind of things, okay, after that, we normally these days, if we can't travel to overseas, we have the signing virtually. Okay, and sometimes we personally take the document to overseas. Okay, and get it signed. Okay, and there embarks the journey of a internationalization activity.
Wow, that's pretty lengthy. Thank you for the explanation, Dr. Daljeet. So the drafting, I believe, takes a longer time, right? And there is a lot of amendments that need to be done in the process, yeah? Depending on the loopholes that you have mentioned just now, Dr. Daljeet. All right, Dr. Daljeet, you've held the international office from 2002 to 2004. Probably you can tell us about some of the MOUs you have successfully secured for UiTM. Maybe you would like to mention them and tell us, share with us about your experiences and your journey in this office in establishing these MOUs. I believe you have established MOUs with Pakistan, in a university in Pakistan, as well as Indonesia, and probably you'd like to share that with us today, Dr. Daljeet.
Okay, during my tenure, the at the beginning in 2020, every year it's normally we need to achieve 10 MOUs or MOA.
10.
10. Okay.
Every year.
Every year.
Wow.
Okay. And then after that it became 15.
Okay.
Okay, it must be achieved. Okay, it must be achieved. Okay, so a total about 50 something.
Oh,
50 something of MOUs and MOA I have achieved. Not I, but our whole UiTM Perak team.
Okay.
The success actually goes to them. Okay, I just can throw the string to rope to you, but you have to make sure you climb it and come to me. Okay, so a lot of MOUs were successfully signed. Okay, without any issues, those kind of things. Okay, especially, and I've seen a lot of continuity of activities going on, and from that particular MOU, for example, when you sign an MOU, it doesn't stop there, Paul. Okay, people actually, they have now embarked to adding a MOA to the MOU.
Correct.
So from one document, it gives birth to another document. Okay, it produces, and when I go a particular, for example, I take an example. UiTM given me the opportunity to step my foot in Pakistan. Okay, when I went there, Okay, we signed 4 MOUs and brought back.
Okay.
We signed 4 from different institutions and brought back, and today the MOU is growing more and more, and you will be amazed because the MOU is the MOAs which are signed or being reproduced is not just from UiTM Perak, but it's throughout the campuses all over Malaysia. Okay, UiTM. Okay, when you particularly sign a document, you don't see the most importantly is your concept of internationalization, like what we going back earlier just now. If I'm from APB, I shouldn't think it's only for APB. Okay, you must come out from that RAM. Okay, you must think that it's for UiTM. The moment you think about UiTM, it grows. The networking grows. Okay, and the success story of a particular MOU. Our students, actually about 16 of them have went to Pakistan. Okay, it was through a MOU. It was through an MOU arrangement, and to be honest, that these 16 are the first one to actually to step their foot there from Perak. Okay, when they step their foot there, Paul, you will get amazed and shocked when they say that this is Pakistan.
Okay.
Okay, you will amazed and shocked because it gives a cultural knowledge and background to them. So how did that happen? It wouldn't have happened if there wasn't an MOU.
Right. Okay.
Okay, the exposure wouldn't have taken place there. Okay, so that is why that particular book you see, the MOU, is actually a window, you know. So when our student went there, gave them exposure, what is this country is about. Okay, to be a lot of success story actually comes from Indonesia.
Correct.
Okay, because they are our main contributors in terms of building up relationship. Okay, whenever you speak to Indonesian institution, immediately they are there to back you up. Okay, that's a wonderful one of the wonderful beauty of this MOU. Okay, so in terms of success story is like we have a lot of our students in Perak have gone internship there.
All right.
Okay, our students have gone internship in Indonesia. Okay, the industries there also are very our MOU partners. The good thing is we do not have to have the worry because we are like parents, you know. UiTM is like parents. We are sending our kids there, and who is going to help us there? It's our MOU partners.
Yeah. Correct. All right, that's good. I mean, you've explained a great deal about the mobility that takes place with MOUs and MOAs, Dr. Daljeet. Maybe you can share with us what are the common challenges, right, that are involved in this communication process as well as the mobility process.
Okay. First, let's look at the communication process. Yeah. One, time is a constraint.
Right.
Okay, time constraint. Because one, of course, the urge when you have signed you already like in the process of drafting a document, and you already completed a discussion. You think that okay, next week we can sign. No, it's not like that. The biggest challenge is time.
All right.
You need to actually have patience, okay, follow the flow, get the document ready properly through a tedious and proper process, okay, because it promises you a long-term binding relationship with a particular institution or industry. Do not actually take a step that I have come across with people who actually they step their foot behind because they're thinking, never mind, it's going to take a long time. It's normal. If you want an eternal happiness, you have to have patience.
Definitely.
Okay, so that is one of the thing. So and the biggest challenge is that, number one. Number two is the document. The document, for example, if let's say I want to sign a document with a different country, Some countries, it's not up to the university to decide to give approval.
Correct.
They have to take it up to the federal government to get approval. So it takes a tedious process of approval.
So there are legal procedures.
There are legal
involved and they're
procedures, the
different.
biggest challenge. And sometimes when it reaches there after the 6th month after you discussed earlier.
Okay.
Or maybe the 8th month. Or even I have documents that time I had documents with a country which had riot. Okay. After 1.5 years, the person comes back. Okay, not our lecturer here, but the other party, that this is the feedback from the government.
All right. Okay.
So you have to really do back, you really need to keep track with that lah. Number 2 is like when it comes to the one of the challenges is to make sure that the other party can agree to you. That the agreement part.
But this is where the negotiations come.
Yes,
in,
the negotiation comes, but there can be times that the other party cannot agree.
Definitely.
So you have to come up with solution, ideas, innovation of getting it a win. Because remember, if you have the objective and goal of taking UiTM to internationalization embarkment, do not give up. Put your feet there and do not put your feet behind. Next, mobilization. Mobilization. Yeah, the challenges is number one biggest problem we have is financial. Okay, financial. That's a known fact that every institution also they have.
Definitely.
Okay, we need to find source of fund to get our students, our students to go. Embark their journey to overseas. And I also come across, not our side, but the other party, they also have a problem when it comes to the source of fund to sending their students here.
All right.
Okay, so one of the issue with what we try to come is negotiate on things which we can loosen up a bit, those kind of things. For example, like maybe accommodation, transportation, those kind of things.
Maybe one question, Dr. Daljeet. Does the university absorb the costs for traveling? I mean, the mobility costs. How much does the university, or let's say UiTM, absorb?
Okay, it depends.
If we were to send our students or staff to partner universities.
The one beauty of UiTM, we have the Dana mobility. So the Dana mobility, actually, it has a pekeliling to guide us. Okay, and actually it has a amount allocated for a B40 student and a non-B40 student.
Correct.
Okay, so it gives, it does support. It will help to support as much as it can for our student to actually go. So normally our student, not only our student, but people from the other side also coming. Normally our student, if they need to go, they may just need to top up a minimal amount. Same goes with our staff. Our staff, when they go to overseas on a formal for a formal reasons, right? For they go to overseas for the university's reason. For example, MOU signing or staff engagement, those kind of things. Our university does back them up with financial wise, leave, insurance, flight ticket, those kind of things. They do help.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So we've talked, we've discussed at length about the preparation of the documents, and we've looked at the mobility. Dr. Daljeet, does intercultural complications arise during the negotiations, during the mobilities, and whatnot?
Okay. During negotiations, let me start with the negotiation part. Yes, it does happen. Okay, it does happen. One, we are Islamic based, I would say, because majority our university composition is Islamic people. Okay, and we may come across with people who are overseas which are non-Islamic people. Okay, so there may be some complication there, but it can be sorted out. No issues with that. Okay, So normally we know how to tackle that. Okay, it happens. And another thing is, for example, I give one example. When our students went to Pakistan, mobility, one of the issues when it comes to mobility. The belief of Islam here, this country, and the belief of Islam in Pakistan is totally different.
Okay, probably the sex. Yeah, different
Yes.
sex.
No,
play.
the way they pray is different. The belief is different.
Wow.
Okay, so when it comes to mobility, so these are one of the challenges the student faces. If they never come across these differences by experiencing in real life, it may be a total culture shock for them. Okay, the culture shock comes in also.
So definitely, they have to do a lot of research.
Yeah. So many of our people, when they are actually going further into another country, those kind of things, okay,
Background research.
they really need to do a background study of that particular place. The excitement of going there is more compared to the idea of doing a background study before you going there.
And so is culture shock.
Okay, I won't say that only our student, but also adults. Okay, I've seen that, I witnessed that the excitement of stepping into a different country is more compared to doing the background study. But it's more important for you to do a background study of going there. Okay, things are totally different in different countries. That is why it's called an overseas country experience. Okay, which you do not get in Malaysia. Okay.
Dr. Daljeet, probably I think we are coming towards the end of our discussion today. I think I should ask you a very important, vital question. We have come this far with our internationalization efforts. So what lies ahead for UiTM and for Malaysian institutions in general in the context of MOU and MOA, again bringing into today's very competitive global environment where I believe that just about every university around the world is very actively signing MOUs and MOAs, you see. So probably my question is twofold. Number one, how does UiTM monitor the progress? How does it evaluate the success of such MOU signings, MOA activities? And number two, what lies ahead probably in the next 5 years for UiTM when it comes to these internationalization efforts?
Okay, one, in terms of monitoring, Paul,
Mm-hmm.
the university makes a compulsory KPI for every MOU signed. There must be at least one activity done.
Okay.
And they actually, it's an annual KPI.
Is there a time frame for that?
Yes, they have to complete it within that particular year. For example, if you have signed in 2025, you have to make sure there is at least one activity done.
All right.
Okay, and if you are and if let's say it's a 3 years ongoing MOU, every year 2026 you have to make sure there's activity. 2027 you have to make sure there's an activity. So because they take reconsideration, our management, our higher management, they take reconsideration whether should there be a renewal on this particular document or not. Because a MOU is not a sleeping document. It's not just for you to sign and tell, oh, I brought for UiTM a MOU. It's not that. You actually, when you sign the MOU, you brought an opportunity for UiTM. So you have to make sure you achieve it for UiTM. Make sure there's an ongoing activity. Okay, and in terms of what you said just now,
Future.
For future,
What lies ahead?
Okay, what lies ahead? When we are into the context of MOU, do not think sign, keep it. That is the number one rule. Okay, to make sure it's a long-term sustainable document. Okay, it contributes towards the success of UiTM. Okay, make sure activities are ongoing. Plan it very well. Discuss with your partners. Okay, and try to have long-term and short-term goals with them. That's very important. Okay, many people ask me, can I do a MOU on a conference? That's not an MOU ready, my friend. The MOU is actually a general document. You go into MOA. So you produce another document.
Correct.
Okay. And many people tell me that when we are in a university, this MOU, MOA, it only involves student accommodations. It does not involve the administrative stuff. But for your kind information, if you look into some campuses, we have the administration staff already embarking into this
MOUs.
MOU and MOA because they actually want to be a part of the globally renowned 2025 UiTM vision. Okay, and long term, I left my office 6 months ago. Okay, but still, I appreciate because I'm one of the committees there. Okay, for long term, it is also my responsibility whether I'm there or not to make sure, as UiTM member, all of us here, we have to make sure that the word globally renowned doesn't stop at 2025. Okay, the word globally renowned is very important because it brings our Bumiputra, our fellow Bumiputra children to further coming years. 2025 is just maybe a beginning of a horizon. Okay, we have a very long term to go. Okay,
Correct.
In bahasa we always call this pejuang pejuang ini misi perjuangan anak bangsa ni sangat penting lah. Okay, if we want to see the long term, we have to put the context of MOU internationalisation into the part of agenda perjuangan anak bangsa. That is very important. Sustainability of UiTM as a global brand will be always there.
Okay. So we see this role of MOUs as a sustainability effort of universities to stay relevant, in the global market of education, right? And definitely as a way of moving forward, all right, and extending our educational experiences and building relationships, all right, with other education partners around the world. Okay, before we adjourn, Dr. Daljeet, maybe there could be one very significant event that you want to share with us on one of your mobility experiences. Probably you traveled somewhere or you met somebody significant, or probably there's a university that has a special place in your heart. Maybe you can share these sweet memories with us as a wrap up for our session today.
Okay, thanks, Paul. One thing I would like to share, which is a particular VC project when I went to Pakistan. Okay, it's a very sentimental moment because I remember whenever I move from one city to another city, one state to another state, the goodbyes, we used to cry. Okay, we used to cry. One example is Dr. Sophia. She's from Multan. We normally speak on the phone before we met there. We meet on G Meets or those kind of thing. But I was there for 2 to 3 days in Multan, okay, in Pakistan. The beauty of the way of hospitality they gave to us, helping us out, because one of the students fell sick. They didn't think that this is a Malaysian, she's a foreigner, but they treated her, this is my daughter. That is one I saw in them. The love, the care. Next, when we were about to leave, we really cried. The hugging part. Okay, the saying goodbyes wasn't easy. Okay, and same goes to my other partners in other countries. So this is where you see actually, that these are not just a formal relationship, but this is a long-term bond which you develop, and it gives you something to take back, that to remember, and you are being remembered there, and you remember them here.
Good.
So those kind of
Thank you.
things.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Dr. Daljeet. Okay, Dr. Daljeet, thank you so much for being here with us today and sharing your experiences on the Waqaf Ilmu Series 7 today. We have learned a lot from you, definitely in contextualizing internationalization. We look at MOUs not only as documents, but definitely as an internalizing process. Yeah, I could see that in you, and I'm very interested in the mobility and the opportunities it presents. Probably this is actually one of the basic fundamental purposes of having MOUs and MOAs. Yeah. All right, I've definitely learned something about MOU, the difference between MOU and MOA, and the documentation process, all right, which may come across as tedious, all right, and definitely negotiation. But I suppose at the end of the day, it is a very fruitful venture for us. Okay, there's this whole huge opportunity for learning that awaits, and one that doesn't stop with just a few pages on paper, but definitely one that enriches the individual. All right, especially with experience, I think. All right, and the internalization process. All right. So on behalf of University Technology Mara, the Perak campus, we want to thank PJIMA and Dr. Daljeet for being with us today. And I hope those who are viewing this series get a rough idea on what is MOUs, MOAs, and a rough idea on how to go about partnering with other universities, and what are the challenges, and definitely what are the benefits one could bring about for the individual, for the students, and the staff of UiTM. Right? Thank you very much, and have a pleasant day. Thank you.
Thank you.